I believe the telephonic rectangle is videoscopically chronicling. What the following is the word? Recording. Brothers and sisters of Portland, across Oregonia, and throughout the United States of America and the world in this realm you call 2019. Have you heard the good news? The portal is open. Greetings. I am the hill creature, prophet of the never-ending Carnival Queen, and I bring joyous tidings. The age of the never-ending Carnival Queen is at hand. With this, which you are perceiving at this moment, this videoscopic revelation, begins the Tome of Holy Transmissions. Its scriptures will be conveyed both through videoscopic moving pictures such as this and through text. Its evangelizing power will work in conjunction with street preaching performed by myself and other disciples of the Carnival Queen who have also passed through the portal. I'll get to them in a moment. First, I'd like to introduce you to Frank, my squire. We're going to leap to him now. Here goes.
Here's Frank, slumbering like an angel. Now, Frank is actually from your realm, from Portland during your time period. He is the first convert, the first native of your realm to become a disciple of the never-ending Carnival Queen. He is clad in what we disciples call divine carnival froupery, the holy vestments which are unique to each of us, and which Frank selected in the dream cavern after I spirited him away, guided by the exquisitely tasteful hand of the Carnival Queen. They are quite marvelous vestments. I live in Frank's house. Note the idols of the Carnival Queen, which I carted up from the dream cavern. The Queen's head sprouting from stone mounds in accordance with tradition, beautifying the abode and creating an air of sanctity that I hope will have a spiritually cleansing effect upon the neighbors.
This is Frank's bed, where I sleep, although of course I've been awake for hours, up and about doing the work of the Queen. I think it's time we wake up Frank.
Frank? 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 Frank! Frank, tell the people of your role in the Tome of Holy Transmissions.
Well, that's my phone that you're filming on, and I've been compiling all of the videos and writings of the disciples into a unified holy work, per your direction, the direction of the prophet, so that everybody can know of the coming of the age of the Neverending Carnival Queen through social media.
Excellent, Frank. Now, we're out of barley porridge.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll go over to the grocery outlet then.
Frank is a good boy. He has proved a generally faithful squire, remaining largely devoted to the true message, but he does question. He has been swayed by the others.
Some of you may have already witnessed the other disciples out on the streets of Portland, or popping up in other parts of Oregon, clad in divine carnival froupery. It was I who summoned them through the portal, assuming that they would wholly accept the word of the prophet and join me in my mission, spreading the divine truth, as it was revealed to me by the Carnival Queen. But they have very often failed. As they preach of the Queen, sing, chant, and produce feats of divine wonder, their minds wander. Some have expressed doubts in salvation. They contradict me. I have labored to show them the errors of their ways, the corrosive effects of their heresy, but in the end, I have failed. If you haven't seen them around yet, you surely will. It appears they are here to stay.
Here's one of them, Preacher Mightbeard. He's also taken up residence here in Frank's house. As you see, he sleeps among the ferns in the yard. Now we're going to leap to some videoscopic moving pictures I recorded of him around town yesterday.
The age of the Queen is at hand!
Here he is, bellowing the scripture of the Carnival Queen, attempting to win converts, which is admirable, of course. He's been out on the street preaching every day since I transported him through the portal into this realm, as I expected he would be. I brought him here because his preaching is renowned among the disciples, both in the Dream Cavern and throughout the terrestrial realms. But he has the audacity to stray from the doctrine that the Queen revealed to me, the Hill Creature, the Prophet. I am the one the Carnival Queen chose to open the portal, the one to whom she revealed that Portland 2019 is the realm where she will establish a terrestrial kingdom, Revel Realm on Earth. And then I transport him here to assist me in my momentous mission of saving all of you when he goes about preaching his own theories on what the coming age of the Carnival Queen means to this realm and what you people must do to prepare for it, how you are to save your souls. And he does so with that renowned Mightbeard preaching that anyone of sound mind couldn't help but find exquisitely persuasive. It is vexing, to say the least. This is another disciple who I transported through the portal. His name is Glopicus the Eunuch. He sleeps in Frank's tub. Glopicus is celebrated in the Dream Cavern and throughout the terrestrial realms for his wisdom, and it was for this reason that I brought him here, though he also, confoundingly, has insisted on straying from my doctrine, taking a more orthodox, conservative line. He was the chief adviser to Cleopatra the Great, last of the Ptolemies, as he is ever so fond of saying. Though if he was quite as wise as the disciples say, and as he thinks, such a cunning adviser, perhaps the Ptolemaic dynasty wouldn't have fallen. His evangelizing has thus far been limited to Frank's neighborhood. At night, he creeps into the neighbors' yards and attempts to proselytize their pets. I have generally found Frank's neighbors to be incomprehensibly hostile.
Now, despite the misguided way that Preacher Mightbeard and Glopicus have gone about performing our sacred mission, at least they were actually invited here by me, the prophet, to perform it. I may have erred when I announced in the Dream Cavern that the new portal I had opened was the place that the Carnival Queen had chosen to establish Revel Realm on Earth. That message has proven a little too resonant in the Dream Cavern and the other terrestrial realms it connects to. Each week, more and more disciples pass through the portal in Forest Park and walk the streets of Portland uninvited, unauthorized by me, the prophet. And they go about spreading their own infernal variations on the Queen's creed.
One of these uninvited guests who you may have seen around town is Ka, the two-headed bird king.
Lutes must lure. Forests must whisper. Castles must vanish. The Carnival Lord must prevail. Take me to the castle of the 12 Siamese ravens. Caw! Caw! Caw!
He has a unique form of preaching, unsanctioned by me. He sprints around Portland area neighborhoods for up to 13 miles a day, engaging in something called the Screech of Ka, a form of praise to the Queen. Like the other disciples who have passed through the portal, The two-headed bird king is famed in the Dream Cavern and throughout the other terrestrial realms. He is a peerless aerialist and a perfect lunatic. When the great circus performer, Leona Dare, hung from the bottom of a hot air balloon from her teeth 5,000 feet over the Crystal Palace in London in 1888, she was quoted as saying, "Still, I have yet to perform a feat of aerial wonder that could match the least of Ka, the two-headed bird king's feats." And Caligula, after announcing that he was to make his horse consul, was said to have remarked to the moon, "You think I'm crazy? If you want to see crazy, go have a chat with Ka, the two-headed bird king." Somehow Ka discovered where we were staying and just showed up at Frank's door. He sleeps in the chimney. Directly above Ka in Frank's chimney is another uninvited disciple, Bobo the Clown.
Bobo the Clown here.
Now, I have serious doctrinal differences with Bobo, but I will aver that no righteous man could ever impugn the pureness of his heart or the integrity of his character. Continuing up Frank's chimney, we find the nook where Wish-to-Twirl sleeps. Wish-to-Twirl is renowned in the Dream Cavern and throughout the terrestrial realms for his dancing, and you may have seen him leaping and pirouetting around Portland. It is through this dancing that he attempts to bring the people of this realm to the salvation of the Carnival Queen. This is actually a quite reasonable form of missionary work. The only issue I have with him is he's been staying here for several months, and he's asked everyone to dance the minuet with him. He's asked Frank, and Mightbeard, and Glopicus, and the two-headed bird king, and Bobo. But he hasn't asked me. I like to dance.
Anyway, if you don't live in or around Portland, or if you do, but somehow haven't encountered me or the other disciples out and about, you will have the opportunity to get to know us here, in this videoscopic and textual work, the Tome of Holy Transmissions. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why, Hill Creature, as you and your squire Frank compile this work, the Tome of Holy Transmissions, for our salvation, on the eve of the coming of the Carnival Queen, why would you include heretics, even one as august as Bobo? My dear pilgrim, look into my eyes now, at the beginning of this journey. I am the true prophet of the Neverending Queen. Just as my faith in her is pure, so is my faith in you, that you will discern the truth. I cannot stem the tide of heresy, and so I have stopped fighting it. Indeed, I have embraced it in a sense, compiled it all in one tome that will prove to be, in the aggregate, a holy work, because it will do holy work. In the transmissions that follow, you will hear my pure message and the messages of the other disciples who will convey heresies of varying magnitudes. I am not troubled. I have faith in you. This realm, your realm, is the promised land. I know that when you hear the true message set against the heresies, that you will discern the truth, and you will be saved. Then, when you see the disciples of the Carnival Queen out on the streets, what is the truth and what is not will be as clear as what are the heavens above and the muddy muck mire below. So here we begin. in Portland. Our next transmission number 2, will be in the form of a song. I'm about to journey back through the portal to retrieve a certain famed crooner. If he's not in the Dream Cavern, I'll likely find him in another American terrestrial realm where he frequently dwells, in Appalachia in the late 19th century, though he originally comes from Thebes and was a favorite of Alexander the Great. 2 things he carries with him at all times is his Orville Gibson guitar and a jar of the actual honey that after Alexander's death his body was immersed in as a preservative. I know that when he sees the promised land, that he will join me in proclaiming the good word, and I can think of no better way of beginning this holy work, this herald of the glorious age to come, the age of the Neverending Carnival Queen, than through the unique song stylings of the Grub Gristle Picker. Here's an old tin type of the fellow. I'll be returning with him very soon. In the meantime, you're bound to see the other disciples out on the streets of Portland and around Oregon. Listen, but be wary. Until we meet again, may the blessings of the Carnival Queen be upon you.